Hello guys, David Vos here. Oh buddy, it's raining cats and dogs here in Alabama. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm having a wonderful day here. And boy, is the news crazy. A little article here on this Politico. I've heard of that. You heard of that? Sounds like some kind of political thing, right? Well, 3 strikes for McCarthy, but he's not out yet. You see, because it don't work that way, because they get their way, they always get their way, but they got to have a lot of drama, right? Oh, buddy. And look at that stare-off between Jim Jordan and the McCarthy. Oh, isn't that staged for television? So the House adjourned Tuesday after the GOP failed to elect a speaker in 3 votes, with opposition to the GOP leader increasing slightly in the final ballot. Yeah, I'd say slightly. Well, the House abruptly adjourned Tuesday after Kevin McCarthy, Speaker, had failed in the 3rd straight vote and morning chaos. Confronting an incredibly narrow majority, McCarthy has been unable to dislodge dug-in opposition. Friends, I think this is all staged. Oh man, this is staged. I'm going to show you. Take a look at the clip here. This dramatic moment where these particular congressmen vote for Jim Jordan, and there's like, you could hear a pin drop. Listen.
Biggs. Jordan. Rakeen. Jordan. Bishop of North Carolina. Jordan. Boebert. Jordan. Cloud. Jordan. Clyde. Jordan. Gates. Jordan. Good of Virginia. Jordan. Harris. Jordan. Luna. Jordan. Miller of Illinois. Jordan. Norman. Jordan. Ogles. Jordan. Rosendale. Jordan. Perry. Jordan. Roy. Jordan. Self. Jordan.
So here's the thing. McCarthy is backed by Trump. But the reason they're not going to back McCarthy is because he's not one of the good guys. He's part of the swamp. Well, Trump said he was going to drain the swamp, but he's back in the swamp. And the people who are against McCarthy are for Trump. And if they don't get Trump, they're for DeSantis. But Trump is going to be running against DeSantis. I don't know how they're going to be able to pull that off. You know, are they going to get mad at each other? Or are they going to tear each other down? Is one of them going to bow out? I think it's staged. Because if Trump were really a good person, now think about this. I'm not just saying that he should not back the swamp. That would probably be nice if he was really going to help America. If, you know, how everybody thinks Trump's he's the good guy. Well, you see, if he was the good guy, he wouldn't be back in the swamp. You say, well, maybe he don't know. I mean, that's what we went through for 4 years when he was president. Why isn't he doing this, that, and the other thing? Well, you know, they won't let him. He'll get to it, right, in his next term when he's got more authority and power. He can do whatever he wants. Well, I don't know. He did this in his presidency. He appointed people like over the Treasury that was one of these Bavarians. Of course, he himself is a Bavarian. Elon Musk is supporting him. He supported Elon Musk. They're the two richest people in the world, basically. And he made Elon Musk a multi-billionaire by his policies. And now Elon Musk is helping Trump to become president. And everything is being staged. They have to make you believe that nobody likes Trump. But at the same time, I think Trump can't back Jim Jordan. As if to say that somehow Jim Jordan is really somebody that is a good guy. Like one of the, I mean, I know he was in sports and he looks like an everyday guy with his suspenders on and all of this. But it's an act, guys. They put him in there to play the part. He'll never be anything more than a fall guy or a stunt man or a stand-in. Jim Jordan's not going to become Speaker of the House. He's not going to become anything. He's just going to be doing whatever they tell him to do. And they want him to make a big scene and look like he's running, you know, we're going to have a good guy, but we just almost had a good guy in there. Some guy in suspenders, right, playing this part. He's not polished. He's just a person. Did you know that Jim Jordan's a lawyer? Guys, I'm gonna tell you something. You gotta come to grips with this. You cannot have gone through, I don't know how many years of university at the Jesuit university and become a lawyer and have practiced lawyering, putting people in prison that goes, hey, that's the law, right? And making millions of dollars off of this endeavor and still be a Christian because it is antithetical to Christianity. And you say, well, yeah, but hey, they don't know. That's the best we can do, Dave. What are we going to do? Vote for Jesus? He don't live here anymore. You see, that's the point. Politics, government is not going to get us anywhere because it has nothing to do with truth or Jesus Christ. It is only a bunch of old men with suspenders running around pretending. And they have no clue because they're going on with the same old system that has kept us in slavery for a long time now. But does he say Jesus? No. He said, well, Dave, you can't, this country is free. We can believe in any deity we want. Yeah. But I happen to know that Jesus, he died for our sins, and without him, we're done. And anybody with any noggin knows that we're at a point right now where you either choose Jesus or the one world government. And they don't seem to be, opposing the one world government if they're going to support McCarthy, who wanted to put Trump in jail or something. Oh, and by the way, here's a hard ball with a spin on it for you. Jim Jordan is voting for Kevin McCartney. Yeah. So McCartney didn't stand up for the people on January the 6th. He didn't stand up for America when we were down there on January 6th. We were doing our own protesting, and they staged it to make it look like all of us people that believe in Jesus are crazy. Well, I don't know if the people that were down there really believed in Jesus, but maybe they believed in the Constitution, at least. How about just believing in the Constitution? Does any of these politicians, including Donald Trump, really truly believe that we should all be able to carry a handgun everywhere we go? That it's our right? We don't need a permit? Like, do you have to go out and get a permit to have free speech? They're not supporting Jesus. Trump's not a Christian, guys. It's all for show. And if you say, well, I don't care if he's a Christian, I'm not electing a pope, I'm elected. But the point is that he's lying and pretending to be a Christian. That should tell you something. Think about the person that he has to pray over him on camera, right? You don't do these things on camera if you're really a Christian, right? You go in your closet and you pray to the Lord who's in secret. But no, on camera, he's got all these Pentecostal preachers. This lady, I forget her name right now, but she's had an affair with Benny Hinn, and she's out there praying over him. This is a charade, friends. And this is all happening right when we're about to go in to World War III. Yeah, friends, this is probably pretty important. In the news today, we have Lavrov says Pentagon is threatening to assassinate Putin. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Tuesday lashed out at what he described as threats coming out of the U.S. to assassinate President Vladimir Putin, apparently in response to a slew of anonymously sourced reports. There are some anonymous officials from the Pentagon who have actually enunciated threats to deliver a decapitating strike on the Kremlin, which is in fact an assassination threat against the Russian president, Lavrov said. If someone really has such ideas, then this someone should think long and hard about the possible consequences of such plans, the top Russian diplomat warned. The condemnation also came less than a week after Senator Lindsey Graham called for someone to take out the Russian president for the war in Ukraine to end. Yeah, sounds like Lindsey Graham. But it appears Lavrov specifically had in mind a September report published in Newsweek, as if that's not enough, which relied on anonymous U.S. defense officials describing that the Biden administration was mulling plans for a decapitation strike to kill Putin in the heart of the Kremlin. Well, it must be more than one person saying it, because they're using this word decapitation in both of these particular incidences. So it sounds like it's coming from the same source, or a likely true source. Below is the relevant section from that September 29 Newsweek article. Details about what decisively means have not been publicly revealed. The military sources tell Newsweek that there are subtle moves being made with regard to nuclear threats, including moving submarines and aircraft and drilling B-52 bombers. Now that's what I would be worried about. Not this threat that somehow or another we could get somebody into the Kremlin, right? Past the KGB and their armies and their soldiers, and you have to understand, most of the people in Russia are more loyal to Putin than people in America are loyal to Biden. They would never be able to do such a thing. Putin he follows procedures. He's hiding most of the time. He's not out in the public because he's well aware that something like this could happen. And it's more important than anything else that something like that didn't happen, because if it did, then a more hardliner would probably take his place, and they would immediately launch nuclear strike simply for decapitating their president. That would be grounds for nuclear first strike. But they stress that non-nuclear military options, the use of conventional weapons and special operations, as well as cyber and space attack, are front and center, to include a decapitation strike to kill Putin in the heart of the Kremlin. See, that would actually not prevent nuclear war. It would probably start nuclear war. Continuing his Tuesday response to this and more recent threats emanating from the West, Lavrov said that it seems that they have shed all vestiges of respectability. He added the notorious ex-British Prime Minister Liz Truss, by the way, she didn't last very long, did she? Isn't that interesting? Is a vivid example, given that she directly and publicly said during her pre-election campaign that she was ready to order a nuclear strike. What? Yeah, the Prime Minister of Britain was saying she was about ready to order a nuclear strike. What do you think Putin is going to do? Well, isn't that pretty? I mean, he sounds like he's saying everything right. Why, he's wonderful. Of course we don't like that Kevin McCarthy. I told you guys before he was a slickster that was going to lead us to World War III. But I look at all these guys as pretty much playing parts. I'm pretty sure McCarthy will get it. If not, even if it's Jim Jordan, which I don't think he's got the votes, he's probably playing on the same team. You look at this Governor Huckabee. Seems like such a nice guy, a grandpa figure, Burl Ives or something. Ho, ho, ho. You're going to tell us a Christmas tale or something. But he likes McCartney. Now, come on. They're all in bed together, guys, and they play this nicey, nicey, nicey.
So help me God. Thank you. Justice, members of the cabinet, and fellow citizens, from the Space Coast to the Sun Coast, from St. John's to St. Lucie, from the streets of Hialeah to the Speedway in Daytona, from the Okeechobee all the way up to Micanopy.
Okay. Wow. What a rousing speech. I didn't play it all for you or anything like that, but I give you the gist of it. I mean, just a little clip, and he's photographable. He's seductive. He's cool. He's calm. He's singing our tune, the national anthem of all of y'all out there, the truthers. But what is it that we're all standing up to give this a standing ovation to? What are we believing in? A guy with a nice tuxedo who says a lot of nice things, says America and God bless America and God bless Florida and God bless us all and every one of you and Christmas bells and, and all. But here's the thing. A real genuine person is going to say something else. They're not going to say God bless. That's what they all say. They might say something like, in the name of Jesus, right? But they never say that, do they? They never say that. And you want to know why it would be important for him to say that? Because he's supposed to be from Italy. He's gone to all these Jesuit colleges to become a lawyer. What is the law? But from Scripture, from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Moses. I mean, if that's what they believe. I mean, I don't expect him to understand Gnosticism or anything. People have different views and they don't know everything. But if he really was a Christian, wouldn't he say Jesus? I don't believe in any of these politicians, friends. And I will show you a little bit that you probably don't know about Mr. DeSantis. Look at this.
And we thank God and are proud to be citizens of the great free state of Florida. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this state and everybody throughout the land.
All right. Well, that sounds great, DeSantis. Well, this little article says on September 14th, 1978, in Jacksonville, Florida, Ron DeSantis, the son of Karen Nee Rogers and Ronald Daniel DeSantis, was born. He has Italian ancestry because all three of his great-grandparents were born in Italy. All three of them. His maternal great-great-grandfather, Salvatore Storti, immigrated in America from Italy in 1904. That's a very royal bloodline from Italy. There's a lot of the Italianos where the Bavarians used to live. There were, Bavarian ghettos for ages there. And as we said, these Goths, they're Bavarians. They took over Italy and they took over the Catholic Church and they are the Jesuits. So anyone that has got great-grandfather Salvatore Storti immigrating to the Americas in 1904 is very likely from some particular John Gotti family or some sort of He's a member of the family, if you know what I mean. So, he says, Lugia Colucci traveled to America with her husband in 1917. Colucci. His great-great-grandmother was her. While his mother was a nurse, DeSantis' father installed Nielsen TV rating boxes. His family moved to Dunedin, Florida when he was 6 years old from Orlando, Florida. His sister, Christina Marie DeSantis, was born in Orlando on May 5, 1985, and she passed away in 2015. He was a member of the Dunedin National Little League team and made it to the 1991 Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. After attending Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic School, DeSantis earned his diploma from Dunedin High School in 1997. I wonder if he's a Jesuit. Well, let's find out. It says he received degrees from Harvard Law School and Yale University. Remember, Yale is where the Skull and Bones is, and they usually pick out presidents for us, like John Kerry and George Bush. So he joined the U.S. Navy in 2004 and advanced to the rank of lieutenant before serving as an advisor for the SEAL Team 1 and was deployed in Iraq in 2007. You see, I know a lot of you think that it's just some very valiant, strong, tough guys that go into the SEALs, but when you are a fourth generation Italiano of the family, and you come over here and you go to Harvard and Yale, and you get all these degrees and somehow miraculously become governor of Florida, then you have to ask yourself, is there any possibility that this is just an ordinary human being that understands reality, that knows some kind of spiritual reality that would help mankind in any way? Or is this a setup, as they always have been in the past? We have never gotten a president that wasn't part of the family. We thought they told us every day, Ronald Reagan's the greatest president that ever lived. Well, he was an actor from Hollywood. You can't get any more royal, right? This is the royal family of America. They just played us. They've made us think that it's all by merit. You got to go to school and get a degree and go to Yale. Well, you can't get into Yale or Harvard unless you're part of the family. All of this is scripted, friends. Right down the line, scripted. Let me show you this. All right, let's click on... Oh. Well, what a pose. Oh, it's on HBO, too. Oh, he didn't know they were filming him. Guys, he's just an ordinary guy like you and I. There's suspenders under that jacket now. Come on. There he is. Oh, he's so cute, sitting there in his chair. And he's Hollywood. He's even born in Hollywood, Florida. These are the movies he's been in or something. Yeah. So, Matt Gaetz, known for acting. 2021, 4 Hours at the Capitol. 2020, The Plot Against the President. 2020, The Swamp. 1997, The View. Very interesting. All right, so who is this Matthew Gaetz? Born May 7th, 1982, an American lawyer. They're always lawyers. Politician who has served as the U.S. representative for Florida's 1st congressional district since 2017. A Republican, he has been described as an ally of former President Donald Trump, as well as a proponent of far-right politics. Isn't that a handsome guy? So, he's born in Hollywood, Florida, and he's an actor. He's the son of a prominent Florida politician, Don Gaetz. Gaetz was raised in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. After graduating from the William and Mary Law School, he briefly worked in private practice before running for state representative. He served in the Florida House of Representatives from 2010 until 2016, received national attention for defending Florida's controversial Stand Your Ground law. In 2016, he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives and was reelected in 2018, 2020, and 2022. In late of 2020, the Department of Justice opened up an investigation into allegations that he had sexual relation with a 17-year-old girl. I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even really, I don't put any weight on any of these investigations. So he's basically got a Bachelor of Science, Interdisciplinary Sciences, and from William and Mary Law School in 2007 with a Juris Doctor. He was admitted to the Florida Bar 2008. He was suspended from the Florida Bar in 2021. I guess he's been reinstated. I don't know. But his father represented parts of Northwest Florida as a member of the Florida State Senate from 2006 to 2016. So his dad's real big, and he was a Senate president from 2012 to 2014. Gates' grandfather, Stanley Jerry Gates, was the mayor of Rugby, North Dakota. So they've been in politics for a long time. They're all lawyers. His resume goes on down all the way. His political positions, he's a libertarian populist. We could read all of this. But the point I'm trying to make is he is a politician, a lawyer, and, by the way, he's an actor. So I don't trust him. And if any of you do, well, I thought you at least should probably know the scoop. Anyway, guys, I don't know. You could look this up and find more stuff on these guys. But all you're going to find, you all know what you're going to find, is they are all lawyers. They're all attorneys. And I really do believe that's a big club that us peasants are not invited to. I mean, I believe we could go up through the ranks if you wanted to be a Mormon or a Jesuit, or you wanted to join one of these organizations or a Mason. Then you could probably get in and become a big lawyer. But you have to go through a series of schooling, a little bit of schooling, and you got to, basically you're taking oaths, you're learning the ways, the ins and out, the whole way. They're letting you know that you do what we say, or we don't let you go any further. You pass the grade, you get a good mark, you do exactly what we tell you. And if you say this, that, or the other thing, you lose your job. So it's impossible for people steeped. It's one thing you're born in the world, and you just happen to be in this world, and you did some things like every human being growing up, you got in a fight at school or what. I don't care about any of that. Nobody's perfect. But when you choose to follow after the world and to be a big shot in the world, to move up through the ranks and have fame or money, even if you're a good person to start with, you cannot. Remember the guy that came to Jesus and he says, Lord, what shall I do to inherit the kingdom of the Lord? And Jesus said, sell everything you have. Well, the man was very rich. He said, sell everything you have and come and follow me. Well, the man was very sorrowful because he was very rich. You see, Jesus told a parable about that man just a little bit after that. He said, it is harder for a rich man to enter into the kingdom than it is for a camel to go through a needle's eye. You see, a lot of Christians want to say, well, money and the worldliness isn't, hey, we deserve to be prosperous. Well, yeah, we should be prosperous. But what is prosperity? It is not this world. If you're voting for somebody in this world, you're voting for this world. You're going to get what you vote for. In other words, you're consenting. When you vote, you consent. You consent to their rule over you. You voted them in. You consented it. I don't know if you can even get through this tribulation and become one of the 144,000 and be translated on Mount Zion. Because, we got to be chaste virgins, waiting for the Christ, not for some political order. If you vote, now I don't mean you could never have voted, but, we've all done things wrong. But you have to stop doing these things We're now at that point where we've got to start thinking about waking up and keeping our garments clean, without spot, as chaste virgins waiting for the Lord with our oil in the lamp. And if we're going to join and follow after the government, that's the beast. You're kind of getting the mark of the beast when you join the government or vote for these bestial powers. When you consent, you're doing it willingly. You're just like the children of Israel at the Mount of Sinai saying, this we will do. You're like going to a wedding. Nobody forced you at that wedding. You were standing there and you and the bride and they said, do you say I do? And you say, yes, I do. Then you get a marriage certificate, a bond paper. You're now a slave, thank you. You're under slavery. You're under contract. And all of us are under contract when we follow this worldly system. Voting in lawyers who go through the Yale University, the Jesuit order of this world. Anyway, that's all I really got to say today. Hoping that y'all realize what kind of a fiasco this world is that we're living in. We should have nothing to do with it and stay out of the world, be no part of it. For the Lord's kingdom is no part of this world. I'm going to go ahead and go, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. May the Lord bless you.